We are delighted to welcome you to the webinar Mastering Efficiency with the Power Automate and Process Mining. I'll kindly request everyone to confirm if you can see the screen sharing properly. Please take a moment to check your screen and ensure that you have a clear view of the shared content. If you are experiencing any difficulties or if the screen sharing is not visible, please let us know through the chat. So before we begin today's webinar, allow me to introduce myself and other esteemed member of our team here at Royal Cyber. My name is Dishan Mukhtar and I work as a global head for full stack services at Royal Cyber. With 15 years of experience in the industry, I have had the privilege of leading diverse teams and delivering successful full stack solution across various sectors. Apart from me, we have Murli, who is a technical lead here at Royal Cyber. Murli is is a technical powerhouse when it comes to the Microsoft Power Platform. His knowledge and insights into his technology are instrumental in harnessing its capabilities for efficient process management. Joining us, one of our full stack tech lead, Aswant Yar. Aswant is the forefront of Microsoft platform, and his technical leadership ensures that the Power Automate processes are implemented seamlessly to improve business operations. Additionally, we have Sarim Akil. Sarim is a highly skilled developer with a focus on the Power Platform. His hands-on experience in the development and implementing Power Automate solution is invaluable to our discussion today. So before we dive into the main content, let me provide you with a brief overview of the presentation agenda to set expectation for what lies ahead. The webinar covers the following agenda point: introduction to the process mining, an overview of the concept of process mining and its significance in streamlining operations. The next topic will be unveiling process insight, exploring the process mining interface and understanding its key feature for gaining valuable insights into your operations. The next one will be identifying the optimization opportunities. In this section, we will learn how to detect bottlenecks and inefficiencies within your processes, a crucial step towards enhancing efficiency. Next one will be we will be doing the process discovery and visualization, discussing techniques for discovering and visually representing your processing, making it easier to analyze and improve them. And the last one, we will have a real world case study and demo. We will present real world example and case study that demonstrate successful process automation using Power Automate process mining. In addition to discussing the remarkable capabilities of Power Automate, I want to take a moment to introduce to our company Royal Cyber. Royal Cyber is a globally recognized technology company with over 20 years of experience in delivering innovative solutions to organizations worldwide. With a strong team of 2,000 plus employees and over 500 certified consultants, Royal Cyber has established itself as a trusted partner in the technology landscape. With a global presence, Royal Cyber operates through 10 plus offices spanning across 5 continents. The extensive reach enables us to effectively serve our clients' needs on a global scale, providing localized support and solution tailored for specific regions and industries. Royal Cyber's client base is diverse, spanning across industries like healthcare, banking and finance, retail, manufacturing, and emerging sectors. We have successfully partnered with over 600 clients across the globe, helping them overcome complex challenges and achieve their business objectives. As a testament to our expertise and capabilities, Royal Cyber has established a strong partnership with various technology vendors. We are a Microsoft Gold partner which highlights our proficiencies in Microsoft technologies. Additionally, Royal Cyber holds the distinction of being an IBM Gold partner, in indicating their deep expertise in IBM technologies. Beyond our partnership with Microsoft and IBM, Royal Cyber collaborate with several other leading vendors, ensures that their clients have access to the most advanced technologies and solutions available in the market. These partnership enable Royal Cyber to provide comprehensive and cutting-edge solutions that address the evolving needs of their clients. Lastly, I will hand it over to my colleague Aswan, who will proceed with the presentation. Over to you, Aswan.
Thanks, Zishan. Welcome everyone. Myself, Aswan Yar, serving at Royal Cyber as .NET Tech Lead. Before moving toward Power Automate process mining, let's start with the basic introduction to the process mining. Process mining is a field of data analysis that focuses on discovery, monitoring, and improvement of real world business processes based on event data generated by information systems. Process mining relies on event logs, which record the sequence of activities, actions, or events. These events can be generated by various systems such as ERP, CRM, or any organization information system. One of the primary objectives of process mining is to discover and visualize the actual processes that are taking place within an organization. Process mining enables organizations to analyze the performance of their processes and areas for improvement within processes. Process mining gains popularity in the various industry, including manufacturing, healthcare, finance, and logistics, as it provides a data-driven approach to understanding, managing, and optimizing complex processes within organization. So now we'll move toward the power of Power Automate process mining. Microsoft Power Automate process mining is a specialized tool within the Power Automate suite that designed to help organizations to gain insights into their operational processes. It enables businesses to analyze and visualize their workflows, making it easier to identify bottlenecks, inefficiencies, and areas for improvement. Also, to automate and digitize the processes. By collecting and transforming raw data into visual process maps, Power Automate process mining empowers organizations to optimize their operations, enhance efficiency, and make data driven decisions. It also allows users to compare different paths within processes, facilitating the identification of root cause and inefficiencies across various platforms and systems. Ultimately, Power Automate process mining is a valuable tool for organizations seeking to streamline their processes and improve overall operational performance. Let's move on to the key benefits of Power Automate process mining. Process mining empowers organizations with a multifaceted tools to gain valuable insights into their operational processes. By utilizing this technology, businesses can enhance operational efficiency by identifying and rectifying bottlenecks and inefficiencies, ultimately boosting productivity and also reducing cost as well. It also enables the elevation of customer experience by pinpointing pain points within processes, leading to increased customer satisfaction and loyalty. Additionally, process mining aids in resource optimization by identifying and automating repetitive manual tasks such as streamlining HR onboarding process. It also ensures compliance with relevant regulations such as tracking and auditing financial loan approval processes for legal adherence. Moreover, it fosters continuous process optimization, allowing organizations to stay agile and competitive by regularly identifying areas for improvement in their workflows. So now I'll move toward the main components of the process mining. So, data requirement is like about how we'll access and receive the data. We have to ensure that the data needed for your process is accessible and properly formatted. Some common data sources include databases, a spreadsheet, cloud storage, APIs, and more other Office 365 available connectors. So we can consume any of these platform as our data source, and we have to like process and transform that data after that. After gathering the data, we have to involve in data extraction, cleaning, and transformation. Like we can filter that data as per our need and can choose only the specific required data, or we can rename some activities to make it more understandable. Then sometime we have to troubleshoot some issues after getting or transforming the data. You might need to troubleshoot. It's normally not required, but sometime we may get issues with data provider or some connectors authentication policy changes, so might need to troubleshoot it if any occurs. So it's a kind of rare case. Then we have option of KPI and visualization of analytics. You'll get several pre-built KPIs and visualizations like graphs, charts, or tables that will help you to understand your process. You can filter by selectors such as activity and case ID and custom filters. If you added the custom attributes like data columns, you can upload your data for analysis as well. Then we have a process map. Process map illustrates the step, activities, and traction that makes up the process using flowchart or diagrams. These process maps provide a clear and detailed overview of how a particular process works. It helps organization to understand the sequence of tasks and identify areas where improvements can be made for increased efficiency and effectiveness. Then we also have an option to share the built-in process with other colleagues, staff, or managers who are available within the same Azure Active Directory. Like whole team of a company can make and share their process with one another and can do work collaboratively. Then we have an example of the connectors available in Office 365. There are also lots of other connectors available which are not like added in this picture. We have an option of like JSON folder, PDF, and some external resources like Azure, and we can consume any of these connector as our data source and use them to make a processes. Then we have an example of KPI chart or dashboard which shows different indicators like median case duration, average case duration, self loop cases, rework cases. So these indicators are calculated on the basis of events happening in the processes, and every indicator have different specification and calculation formula behind. We can see counters here like total number of variants, cases, and activities as well. We can see the graph that show different activities and routes to identify how our processes flow. We can see some loops in it and different starting and ending nodes. We'll go through these KPI charts in the demo as well in detail. So we also have a variant DNA view. It allows you to get a visual overview of all the process variants found in the current open process view. It allow you to get a glimpse of process characteristics and variation of the processes. It allow you to get a glimpse of process standardization level. It also allow you to identify differences or repeated patterns as well. As we can see, we have a lots of events which are repetitive in this process paths. So we also go through this in detail in the demo. That's all from my side. Now I would like to request Sarim Akil to carry on to the next part. Thanks.
Now, I would like to continue from now onwards. So, let's get start. Let's get started. So, I am talking about process discovery and visualization. So, let's get started with the basics. What exactly the process discovery is? So, process discovery is the initial step in process mining where we extract knowledge from event data to create visual representation of a process. This step is very crucial to identify inefficiencies and bottlenecks and to improve process compliance. So, as you can see, process mining is nothing but the convergence of AI capabilities, business data, and modern analytics. So, with the convergence of the capabilities of AI and the business data that we are going to feed into this process, into this step, then it will generate the modern analytics for you, and you'll be able to analyze on those modern analytics and this tool, Power Automate process mining tool, automatically generates the process flow diagrams. So you just have to give the data and it will automatically generate process flow diagrams where you will be able to see this visualization, and you will be able to identify the bottlenecks, and you'll see the process paths as well. And this shows you the process paths and how the processes are executed and what are the paths that they followed. And it also shows the exceptions and variations and what are the deviations in the process. And it makes you understand what are the problems in the process, and it helps you to improve the process, identify what are the opportunities to improve. And it also helps to communicate with the business people and also stakeholders. So the visualization and the process flow diagrams always helps in communication with every stakeholders. Now, process mining insight layers. So we do have insight layers. So as Asfand already shown you in the process map. So in the process map, we have three layers, three insight layers that helps us identify the opportunities and identify bottlenecks in our process. So first one is the frequency layer. So in the frequency layer, we have total count. So total count is nothing but the total frequency of an activity captured in the data. And then we have case count. The case count is the number of process instances in which an activity occurred. And then we have the maximum occurrence in case. So it basically shows the maximum number of occurrences of particular activity in the process. And then we have the second one is the performance layer. So inside performance layer, we have total duration. The total duration of an activity is the time as a total time captured by the particular instance of a process. So it captures the total duration of the particular instance of process. And then we have mean duration. So it calculates the average or mean of the mean time of what processes took in the particular scenario. And then we have maximum duration, which shows the maximum time the particular process instance took. And then we have the minimum duration, which shows the minimum time the particular process instance took to complete. And then the third one, we have the rework layer. So rework layer shows a lot of statistics to us. So first of all, it shows rework count. Rework count is nothing but the sum of all the self loops and loops inside the processes. So what self loop and loops are, I'll tell you now. So self loops are nothing but the activity followed by the same activity again. So this is called self loop. So if self loop happens, so it is a big bottleneck and big issue in the processes. So we have to identify and we have to improve it. And then we have loop also. So loop is nothing but three or four activities followed by the same three or four activities is called loop. So some of those loops and self loops are rework count. And then we have the loop inflow and loop outflow as well. And what it basically is, loop inflow is the representation of repetition of activities predecessors, and the loop outflow is a representation of repetitions of activities successors. And then we have loop count and net loop gain. So loop count I already defined you guys. So it is nothing but the count of some activities followed by some activities. So we count that and it is called loop count. And then net loop gain is nothing but the difference between the loop inflow and the loop outflow. So these are all the inside statistics that we are able to see in the process map, and we can identify these things and we can identify opportunities and we can work around with these options. And then we have the optimization opportunities and bottlenecks and inefficiencies and how we can identify and improve them. So here you can see we all know that the improving process first step is to identify where to improve, and first step is to understand the process. So the entire process map shows the process and it helps identify the opportunities just because it helps us understand the process better. So first step gets clear from here that we identify just by seeing and understanding the process. And then we can even apply custom filters wherever necessary in the process report. So we can even apply custom, like we can see the paths according to variants as well. We can see the whole process path. We can see according to instances as well, and we can see some of the part of the processes as well according to our choice. And then we can create custom views and we can find custom paths and how these processes gets executed, and how particular activities gets stuck and how particular activities gets executed. We can create custom views for that as well inside the processes. And then we can compare different views as well. We can create one view, we can create another view, and we can compare and see how we can improve and what option is the better option for us, and how we can move forward with this. And we can understand we can understand it better with the different views. Now moving to the KPIs in process mining. So we have multiple KPIs available, and these KPIs mostly available in the desktop version. So after me, Murli is going to show the demo, and he'll be showing these KPIs and all the stuff in the Power Automate Process Mining desktop version as well. Opportunities. So now I'm going to the demo, which shows the real world case studies, and then the live demo for us. So Murli will be going through the real world case studies and live demo. So over to you, Murli.
So yeah, this is Murali from Royal Saber. Let's see the demo out of the topic and also some of the technical, the parameters that we discussed, related to this process mining. So yeah, so process mining is one of the, the underlying feature comes under the Power Automate area in the Office 365. So this is the space you have to create, any process which you want to create based on any business process. So what we are going to do is, create the quick demo out of the raw file. So this is the file, that we have extracted from our, the account side. So this is nothing but the transaction log of the activity which is involving, the refund process. So so here, this is happening with the, the different location. So as you see the data, we do have, different metrics, which is like, the invoice, this refund invoice process happening in location, based on the location and who is actually involving in it, the role. And of course, the refund process is actually, happening between the seller and the buyer. And we do have the vendor for that. And about the money value, we do have the invoice value, and about the resource. And then we do have the timestamp values. So it is about the even start and the even end. And every invoice instance, that we call it as like a case. So you do have the unique identifier, the case ID, and then the activity name. So in this process, since it is about the accounts payable process, and it's about the refund, there are a lot of activities which you can see. So it could be the start and end. It could be always the invoice entry, and then the reissue of the invoice. That is the start and end. In between of these, you can consider, a lot of activities which is actually, required for this kind of a process to get completed. So it could be the, once after you get the invoice entry, we will normally check customer payment, and then we will be creating the credit memo entry based on that. Then we will confirm that whether the payment is received or not. And apart from that, this particular process, especially involving two special refund process. So one is about this, this organization is actually, involving the refund with the voucher concept. So they have refund with the standard voucher, and then the refund with the special voucher. So what we are having is the data is a mixture of, the record of the entire financial year. So let's see if we can create the new process based on this CSV file that we have extracted from the financial system. Go here and start. This is the place you have to create the new custom process if it is not going to be the predefined templates. And give it a name. So that is a possibility to create the report based on the live stream data, that we are not going to do it for now. So we are going to be, based on the simple file, the CSV file. And there is also the possibility that you can keep this in the data flow, and also you can use the Azure Data Lake. So for the matter of the demo, I'm going to use a data flow. And the next step would be to, connect to the data. Okay, so like we have, seen before in the presentation, we have a lot of connectors available here just to see the option view mode. So you have the file-based connectors and the database based connectors. So it is not only the Microsoft stack. You have the SAP, you have the Google side, and you have Amazon. Almost all the major tech stack. And go to the Microsoft Fabric. You can use the data from the data flow side, and also the Dataverse from the Power Platform, and all of the Azure data streams from the Azure side, and also other online services. And if you go for the other, there is also other API based access and other protocol, OData protocol based access. So like this, I mean, that we have too many options to connect to the different types of data. So for the demo, we are going to stay with the simple CSV file. So I'm going to upload the file which I have extracted from the system. Okay. Since I have logged into this my Office 365 ID, so this is like auto resolve. Otherwise, you have to set up the connection. And if this is the type of the file which is coming from different server and it is actually connecting via the on-premise data gateway, then you have to you can also connect to such kind of the on-premise files through the data gateway. So once after we connect to the data source, the next step it would be to just to review the data, whether everything is good, whether we have extracted all the data from the file to this space. So yeah, this is pretty much everything that we have seen in our the Excel file, and you can actually review the data. So yeah, it is pretty much neat and clean. So we go for the next step. So this is the area if we can transform our data, if we need to achieve any kind of the data modeling. For example, it is always not going to be the case, I mean, that we're going to only point to process mining with the record data. So it will not be always the case. So we might need to, change some type of this, the default type of this, or we may need to create new column based on the existing column. So this space is, very similar to how we are, doing the ETL process with the Power Query Editor window in the Power BI. So this is nothing but the native tool of the Power BI side. So you can apply the steps to transform the data that you want. So we have everything like neat and clean. So let's go for the next step. Okay, and after we transform the data, so we have to map the data to the appropriate attribute type. So when it comes to the Power Automate process mining tool, that is always you can consider there are three parameters which is always important, which is necessary to complete the process mining at the first level. So that is nothing but the case ID, activity, and then the event start. So without this, we cannot effectively achieve the process mining report, and it is also not possible to reach the first level of the basic report also. So it is always critical to transform the data in such a way that we can match the attribute, these specific attributes. Okay, so now we have to map these attributes to the relevant type. So let's say the location can be the event level attribute, and the road can be the event level attribute. So vendor ID stays same. Invoice value, we can make it as like the financial event, and then the resource can be the resource itself, and the timestamp start can be the event start, and the end timestamp can be the event end. So that is straightforward. And the case ID is a one. We should map it to the case ID. It will be the unique identifier of this data, and the activity name should be mapped to the activity. So once you complete, the necessary mappings, like I explained, these three are very much necessary. So once after you complete the mappings and also the necessary mappings, then you will be able to see the save and analyze is actually enabled for you to go to the next step. Okay. So this is the first level report. Like this both automatically created by the process mining AI capability. So this is the first level report, and this web version would actually show very few metrics. But if you need to actually go for the deeper analysis, it is always better to go with the process mining app, which is a desktop version. So whenever you create the report and you land into the first level page of this report, you can go to this download process mining app, download it, and just go for the installation, and it will actually show you that in the process mining desktop. Just for the matter of this demo, we have pretty much created some of the custom views on this process. So we are trying to actually use the same one for the explanation here. So this is the process you see here. So whenever you come to this area with your login, you will be able to see the process which was shared to you by other person, and also the process which was created by you. And when you come to this process, and you will be able to see only one view, which is the default view. The default view is nothing but the view which was created by the process mining tool as a first level report. And you have to start from here in order to do the further customization on top of it. Okay, so let's understand some of the components we have discussed before. So this is the process map, the entire process map, and you go to this area, this the visualization area to see the map and to see the metrics in the overlay on the map in a very different format. Like you can increase the horizontal view, so you can stretch the horizontal look, and you can also do some the vertical alignment to see the report in a very clear way. So usually it will be like in the minimize the look. You can perform some of the proper zooming controls to visualize the report very clearly, and go for this. And then you have the variance, the filter. So this page is actually very much useful for us to understand how many the unique the variants happen in the entire process flow. If I go for this, so you can very clearly see that. So there are totally 68 cases, as it says here, which follows this very simple path from the invoice entry to the reissuing the invoice. So this is very much needed for any kind of the audit process, right? If you want to just categorize the unique path, and based on that you can derive some insights, and based on that you can amend some of the business rule. So it will be very much useful for that case. And like this, we can see the different paths involved in this process map. So basically, this is the area where you can filter the map based on the variance. And going to this area, so here you do see the customization panel, and coming to this, so this layer is is having the different types of layer, and the first one is about the frequency layer. So in the frequency layer, you can see that, probably that we have seen everything in the previous slides, the total count, case count, and then the maximum occurrence in case. So if you go for the total count in the process map, so let me actually go and then remove this filter so that we will be able to see everything in one shot. Okay, so yeah, so if you go for the total count, so it actually showing you the total frequency of the activities captured in each process node, right? So if you see the other metrics underneath, you see the cases, which is 100%, and the events 100%. So this is the entire the collection of records as a process map. So the first step you see here is invoice entry, which is nothing but almost the total cases, because there is a starting of the process, so it cannot be avoided in any step. Likewise, you see that the reissuing the invoice, that is the end of the process. So it is almost part of almost all the the variants. So yeah, so like this, if you see like I told you before, we are doing the demo out of this process, which is involving two type of the refund voucher process. So if you go for this, you see the refund with the special voucher that actually takes place in the the total number of times actually it is actually involving in such kind of the refund process. And if you go for the standard voucher, you see this is having the more involvement in the entire the refund process. So, and if you go for the different metric filter, go for the case count. So it will just show you the each node involvement uh, in the process path. So nothing but the number of the process instances in which the activity occurred. So take the special voucher. This is actually involving in very few, just 9 cases, not more than that. And if you see the standard voucher, this is actually involving in 59 cases. So this is actually the type of the majority side. And go for the maximum occurrence in case. So this is also the same. So these are the particular nodes that is having the maximum occurrence in the entire process. So likewise, go for the different layer here, the performance layer. So the performance layer is nothing but, it will basically show you the duration related metrics. So if you go for the mean duration, you'll be able to identify, the refund with the special voucher is having, more weightage, which means you can see that it actually had the consumption of 15 hours. If you compare that same with the other voucher process, which is a standard voucher, it took only 2 hours. So like this, you can compare and you can come into some kind of the conclusion whether we really need to follow the time consuming process like in the special voucher or not. So yeah, this is the performance is nothing but the duration related metrics you can analyze. And the next one is about the rework layer. So in this one, you can filter the proper metric in order to identify the more details on the process map. So for example, I just switch it to the rework count. So here you can see that the weighted color area, the blue color node, you can see that this is having the more weightage, which means the standard voucher is actually getting into the more rework scenario. So this is actually this forms a loop actually. So for example, you have other metrics that we have covered in the slide before, like you see the self loop count. Of course, there is no activity which repeats itself. So it is 0 everywhere. So there is no self loop count. And if you go for the loop count, yeah, we do have more reworking scenario happening around the refund of the standard voucher, and it is going for the customer memo, and it is often getting rejected. And again, it's coming to the standard voucher process. So this takes place like more number of times until it is successfully getting approved and follow the subsequent process, go for the memo creation, and it goes for the end. So yeah, the loop count, it stays right. It shows something is wrong with the standard voucher process. It is unnecessarily created the maximum number of loops. So like this, we go for the recall count. We just actually have seen this, and the loop inflow is nothing but the activity is actually coming into that particular activity, and the loop outflow is nothing but the repetitions of an activities, successors. So any succeeding activity, and net loop gain. So this is nothing but usually the activity metric which represents difference between the loop inflow and the loop outflow. So we can easily identify if the difference is positive. Some of the activity here is directly followed by more repeated activities than it was preceded. So like this, we can actually get the comparison. As we see in this, refund with the standard voucher is often followed by the reject invoice, often followed by the customer memo, often followed by the reject invoice. So like this. And next we can see some of the main feature, which is about creating the different views. So based on the views, we can effectively analyze the process in a very meaningful way. So this is the way that you have to create any view. You have to go and add filters based on the attributes. So in our cases, since we are having 2 voucher process, it is meaningful to create the views based on one view is to show only the special voucher paths, and one view to show only the standard voucher process, right? And based on that view, and if you try to combine this view, both of these views, So we can easily identify what are the common paths, which is happening among both the special voucher and the standard voucher, and what is something very much unique, with this standard voucher alone and the special voucher alone. So we have created, in such a way, for the special voucher and the standard voucher, like I can show you here. So we have, something created like, the refund of the special voucher. Yeah. So basically, I will create a filter for a view to include only the special voucher and discard the values, the record values of the standard voucher. So which means I think it will show only the process paths, which involves only the special voucher alone. Like this, we have the standard voucher again. Yeah. So here, we will be creating the view with the filters to include only the standard voucher activity and exclude all the activities which include the special voucher process. So after you complete such kind of the views, it is very useful for us to visit the map and then identify the metrics involved, and then all the KPI, all the pre-built KPIs, like the total count, case count, the mean duration, the case duration. So all kind of these KPIs can be analyzed much better in the sub process. Like refund process is one of the sub process, and standard voucher is one of the sub process in the main refund process. And the third one, I mean, I just try to actually overlay the special voucher view on top of the standard voucher view. So that is a way. So you have to go for the process compare here. So once you go that area, you have to go for add layer, and this will basically show us our all the views that we have created. So once you create select the view on the view that you are already have the active page. So this will be like the overlaid image you see here. So in this one, so everything that you see here in the green color, these are all the paths which is common among both of these voucher process. So this happens in both special voucher and also the standard voucher. And whatever that you see in the blue color, the legend itself, it says, I mean, that is actually the one involved very uniquely in the standard voucher process alone. And the special voucher, you see the the view legend, the left side. So that is only the unique path, which is actually happening only in the special voucher process. So when it comes to the standard voucher, there are only two unique activity. One is reject invoice, and another one is the standard invoice. So this picture, very clearly, depicts the information that the rejection has happened only in the standard voucher process. So that has been the never case of the rejection with the special voucher process. So like this, that we can, get some insights out of it. If you go to the variance tab, so this actually, show you the different unique paths, which is happening in this entire process in a very neat and clean way with the proper legends. And you can actually, how we actually, filter the process map by mining attribute. You can also change that by the resources, and you can change that by location. So this is kind of a very, the beautiful information that you can, analyze, and you can get the better insights rather than it can be the one static report. So this could be, something more dynamic. Okay, and then the root cause analysis is nothing but, you can compare the, the different metrics. For example, if I choose a case duration, on the other side, I can go for the case utilization, and you can derive the analysis on top of it. Yeah, this is something useful for some deeper level analysis. So yeah, and there are a lot of useful documentations available in the Microsoft for better understanding. I suggest you guys to refer those kind of the documentations in order to understand the deeper customization and the deeper analysis on top of this. And if you go for the statistics, you have the entire metrics, which is very neatly graphed over here, and you can choose the way that you want based on the data that we have provided here. So this is nothing but, you can see the entire graph and the filter based on the mining attribute. It could be the resource. So you should be able to understand the case frequency by the resource better. And you can, see the statistics by the money value, which is the invoice value. So like this. And the process animation is nothing but, I mean, when you play this, so this is, the inbuilt feature with the process mining tool. When you play this, so basically it will, traverse from the start to end in all the cases. So this is like, the meaning, the recording of all the cases, and it will basically simulate the start to end based on the unique paths that each case actually visited. So yeah, so this is nothing but, sorry. Okay, so so right now we know that we have a very good understanding of how this particular refund process is actually happening, and the two such process called the standard voucher process, and then the the rejection the refund process with the special vouchers happening. So when you come into the the good insights, so here we can get the the good key takeaways. When you go with the special voucher, it takes place only the few times in the process compared to other steps, and it has related the very low amount of money flowing into it, and significantly increases the mean duration of the entire process, as we have seen there. So it took almost like more than 17 hours in the entire process itself. So yeah, you can see here almost 17 hours. And if you go for the standard voucher, that particular case, that have the invoices being subsequently rejected, so that causes more rework and adds some time to the mean duration of the process. So when you come into the quick considerations, when you go into the considerations for if the organization has to go for the considerations to choose either a special or the standard voucher. So the refund with the special voucher or the refund with the standard voucher. So the refund with the standard voucher sometimes cause some rework because most of the invoices are subsequently rejected in the process path. Alternatively, using the special voucher never causes the invoice rejection. So it seems like using the special voucher should be the consistent course of action. But however, having the possibility of the invoice being rejected through a standard voucher, which saves the organization more time than using the special voucher. And if you see the time difference between such kind of the process, it is almost like 14 hours, 17 hours in the which is happening with the the special voucher, and only the 2 hours happening with the standard voucher. So if you try to reject the special voucher process in the entire the refund process, you can almost save like 14 hours. I mean, that is the mean duration of saying. And when it comes to the recommendation part, so it is very clear that the organization should focus only on using the standard voucher versus the special voucher, because very few cases has gone through the special vouchers, and it seems it is also very few, but it added more time to the process itself. So that is something like in the time lag that we can consider. So yeah, like this, I mean, that we can able to identify the quick insights and some predefined KPIs. We can also implement our own KPIs using the custom attributes and also the custom business rules on top of this. So and coming to the the conclusion. So this kind of the process map can also be customized to the higher level, and also the graphics also can be customized using the the native Power BI workspace. So regarding that information, I think we are not covering that in this demo, but you can actually very well identify all of those subjects in the Microsoft documentation. That is very much neat and clean. And yeah, so with this, actually, we are actually completing this. I just hand it over to Jishan Mukhtar.
Okay. Thank you very much, Aswan and Sarim, for very much insights about the Power Automate discovery and processes, and Murli for a very brief, very detailed and insightful demo that shows a lot of capabilities of Power Automate in the process mining area. So we have an offer for this webinar recipients. This is special offer for the organization interested in harnessing the power of Microsoft Power Automate and its process mining capabilities. Royal Cyber is offering a complimentary 2-week assessment to help you unlock the potential of this innovative platform. During the assessment, our team expert will work closely with your organization to understand the business objective, processes, and pain points. We will evaluate the existing system, workflows, processes, and data sources to identify areas where Power Automate can make a significant impact on your productivity and efficiency. Before we conclude, I would like to open the floor for any question you may have. We are here to provide you with the information you need. Thank, thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone.